Hey gang, welcome to another edition of Doc's Holiday Schlock. Oh, that kid's messed up. Sorry. Where this time I'm reviewing Phantom of the Mall, Eric's Revenge. Dun dun dun! Okay, so let me give you the story about this as quickly as I can, because to be honest with you, this movie is idiotic. Story of a kid named Eric who's apparently living in the upper ducts of the mall that was built over his house that was burned down due to him and his girlfriend being inside the house, and Eric and his parents didn't want to sell the house. To tell you the truth, the house that he lived in was not that big, so how to build a mall on top of the area where his house was, I don't know how that's possible, but I don't know, it's part of the idiocy of this movie. Anyway, so Eric's been hanging out in the ducts of the mall since it's been built. He's been going around doing all kinds of stuff, killing people in pretty ridiculous ways. And the girl that he thought he lost, turns out she's working in the mall, and anybody who tries to attack her, he attacks them and protects her and all this other nonsense. And then there's this photographer who's trying to go around trying to get the pieces squared away and taken care of, because there's a belief that this whole mall thing was a big cover-up. Well, turns out it is. The owner of the mall and the mayor had something to do with all this nonsense happening. And so the mayor gets killed off towards the end of it. Eric gets killed off. The owner of the mall gets killed off towards the end of it, and the mall gets blown up. How? Eric and the owner of the mall get into this fight. Eric torches the owner of the mall, and the owner winds up falling backwards into a bunch of propane tanks and causes a slight explosion. Eric winds up falling from the upper deck of the mall down to the floor and dies. And the mayor got killed off because Eric grabs her, puts her over his head, and tosses her, and she lands on some kind of a spike-like thing. So there you go. The movie ends with the mall pretty much blown up, and Eric, we see one last shot of Eric with all a bunch of rubble on him, burnt to a crisp, and dead. That's it. No opening his eyes, nothing. He's dead. He's gone. He's done. Okay, so anybody in this movie you might recognize? Well, Morgan Fairchild, who was in a bunch of stuff in the 80s, and I can't believe I'm saying this, Pauly Shore is in this movie too. And he actually does a pretty good job in this. That could be the only reason I could recommend you watching this movie, is to see Pauly Shore actually kind of act pretty decent in a movie for once. So there you pretty much have it, and all this is happening around, and supposed to be opening up the big mall around the big opening on the 4th of July. So that's why it's on here. So yeah. So it's screwy kablooey. What can I tell you guys? If you like my videos, hit that subscribe button. If you got any movies you'd like for me to review, let me know and I'll get on them as soon as I can. Until next time, for Doc's Holiday Schlock, stay strong and rock on. I'm definitely not going to the mall anytime soon.